there's many to do different lines, kavim of Torah. I'm going to try to go in Yiddish machal for them, just to get them comfortable, because they're not used to listening to Torah in English. So
so does it used to be in Yiddish?
No, I'll do it in English, but I'll throw in some Yiddish words to make
I'll
it
probably
comfortable.
understand some of it.
So, and it took me years to start learning in English. It's a very big switch. All right.
No, it's fine. It's fine if I.
So the word is as follows. We'll English inside we'll do in English and Kurdish. So there's many kavim of Torah, all right? So do Torah Shabbat, Torah Shabbat, and ook we do Kabbalah, Torah Sasad, and Chassidus. Now, all these things, now that we're going in, we're waking up to, we're starting to understand that everything is connected. Okay, we're not just in the Welt that we come from, to do an Eibishter, to do the Torah, Gemara, and noch we do business. Eins hat gar nicht mit dem Zweiten. Ein Business ist hier, was darf tun für mein Business. Und noch Gott, ich should helfen. Und noch Teure, ich muss lernen. Weil das darf man tun. You have to do that. It's part of something that we do.
I understood that.
Correct. Now, Chassidus is something that opens us up to connecting everything. It's starting to make sense with everything. It's called Teres Mashiach, not because the Lubavitcher Rebbe is Mashiach. We're not going to get into anything of that. This is the Alter Rebbe. He was from the Baal Shem Tov's Torah. Only because Chassidus is in a way that takes everything that is above and brings it into the physical. So in other words, why do I go to work every morning? What am I doing? So Mizan, it has nothing to do with the Eibishter. So therefore, my business is my business. I'll do what I got to do, even if it's this and Shivim Punam La Torah, and we'll figure out the Torah, but this is not Chassidus. Is a whole Chassidus is no. A Chassid is something inside the heart. It's something very personal. It's something very real. You are a Chassid everywhere. A Chassid means that even when you go to the mikveh and the mikveh is hot and nobody's there, you don't piss in the mikveh, because Chassidim we're considerate. Like it's this is what it is, right? If you piss in the toilets, you clean it because menschlichkeit, right? So these are all things that Chassidus teaches us. And once you open up, and with Chassidus is they took every aspect in a Yedavach in the Parsha. There's different levels. They have there's a dynasty of Torah because it goes from the Alter Rebbe all the way down to now, and there is a continuation that they were able to apply. Every Rebbe was able to apply Welt in Torah. So Torah Shabbat, which is the Torah, Chimish Rasha, is something that we are all made up. We are all Shemus. We're all letters. We're made out of letters. And Torah Shabbat is something that is the rock, is the bedrock of Welt, of me. Every person has a word in the Torah. We're all connected. We all come from Torah. We all have that. So we're all, you can take Chimah Torah Shabbat, the Milayt is Inavanik, and it doesn't change. This is what it is. Then you have Torah Shabbat, which goes into a different Welt, which Tanya explains which consciousness Torah Shabbat comes. Mishnah from Yitzira, Gemura from Bria, and then you have Torah's Chassidus is his Torah's Mashiach. Emisai Kasima, the Baal Shem Tov goes into the Hechel of the Baal Shem of the Mashiach, and he's like Emisai Kasima, when Kimsti. The Chashay Futzim when down well, down spring, the Kwal and down Torah, that Rosgan and the Rose, that's Verspreiten of the Welt. So this is Chassidus, this is what Chassidus teaches us, and as you start learning this, and you're able to integrate every single thing, what the Baal Shem Tov's groundbreaking thing that he said is that until the Baal Shem Tov was tackled like that, there was Eibishter, and then there was places where Eibishter was not. He wasn't in the bathroom. He wasn't in the Blackwell was a Rugafon. It's a Rugafon. Baal Shem Tov comes and says, Eibishter is everywhere. He's everywhere. He's in the table, right? He's everywhere. What do you mean he's in the table? Where is he in the table? This table has an energy, right? It has an energy that you can see. There's technology that you can see it. And in the tree, that's Eibishter there too. It's a different level of Eibishter. There's different madregas of Eibishter, right?
Every atom is his name, right?
Correct. And to the point, everything is Eibishter. However, Klal Yisrael is something special. We are not just Eibishter, we are alle b'machshava. We are, so to speak, this creator that created the Bashaf and the Welt. There's billions of galaxies and stars we don't even know. There's angels, Ein Sof, right? There's just, we're talking about people that were able to see these stuff as they were writing it. They weren't just imagining. They were like, they wrote what they saw. These are superhumans, super light. There was a super manifestation of this creator. And they tell us that this is what's going on in the other worlds. And we as Jews, as Yidden, we're all b'machshava. In the moech fin de bashafer, from the Welt. The creator of Welt, we Yidden, this is where we are. Now what happened is that we're in Golos, and in Golos is that we don't see. We can't see clearly what's going on. So we think because there's a lack of light, there's a lack of oil, therefore there is more choshev, there's more darkness in the world. And when there's more darkness in the world, I'm talking about Eibishter help me, send me parnasa, but then when I go outside, I see one thing. If I'm not going to grab that, and if I'm not going to beat this guy and lie, I'm not going to get it. So therefore I got to do it. Because it's Golos. This is what's called Shchinta B'Gelisa, because we are all part of the Shchina. We're in Malchus, we're in part of the Shchina. There's inside of us, there's an Oir, there's a light, which is the Shem and Zai Zach. And because instead of me davening and right away I should manifest my Parnasa or my Shefa, whatever that means. Parnasa doesn't mean money, it means Parnasa means Shefa. Chovas Hadas is Parnasa. If you have the Chovas Hadas, it's Parnasa. Otherwise you can have whatever you want, you don't have Parnasa. So now the fact is that if I daven and it's not manifesting, and then so that's Shchinta B'Gelisa, and that's why we're all sitting in workshops and we're all breaking our heads and we're like, I don't even know what I want, but I know this is not good. This is not arbitnish. What is it?
With that?
Because look, you're not comfortable because there's something inside of you that tells you
There's more.
It's trapped. Now, as what Hasidus does is it's gonna. Yes, the workshop and everything like that. But what you learn is you're able to find that desire. You get more clear with your desire. Now, the way it works is there's terms in Kabbalah and Chassidus that's called Alma Duchra and Alma Nukva, which is the man and the female, the masculine and the feminine. And the way it works is that the same way it works with a husband and a wife, the same thing it works between us and our Creator. If I don't have a desire, it's not going to happen. It's not going to come. If I sit over here, it's not going to happen. But if I have a desire, I need to have a desire. So that's what it says that the reason the Mashiach and Achos do because we don't know how to daven. We don't know because we're in Golos. We don't know how to. We don't believe in our power. And when I daven, I'm doing it just for the bricks, and that's it. But once you start learning Hasidus and you open up and you start realizing how the system works, so then you're able to daven and you create a desire and easily, not like a kid. That's trying to pick something up and he's not comfortable, he doesn't know, and he uses all his power. This is what we're doing right now. We're doing all our power to get one squeeze. And he has Rahmanas in us because we're trapped, and he gives Shefa, whatever he gives us because we're not on it, we don't know. But the real pleasure is once you learn how to daven tefillah, right? Everything is tefillah. So Hasidus teaches us how to be in tefillah all day long, right? Tefillah means that what we talk about in the check-ins, anchor a good feeling, right? If I have a good feeling, if I feel good for a second, it's called the Sirosa Le'ela. Not really, but yes. The Sirosa Le'ela means there's a Sirosa L'Satan. These are terms in Hasidus that you're going to find. The Sirosa Le'ela means that there's an Es'oideris from above, and the Sirosa L'Satan means that there's an Es'oideris from here below. So sometimes out of nowhere I feel good. I feel inspired. I have inspiration. I feel good. That's called the Sirosa Le'ela. And once you're in tefillah all day, you recognize, you're aware where you are, not just like I'm knocking stuff over, right? T. Okay, I'm aware where I am. Once I'm aware where I am, I'm able to recognize what's going on. That right now, out of nowhere, I'm feeling good. And you're going to see throughout the day, 2 hours you feel amazing, and then there's a downer. And then there's this, and then this, and then again. So this is how it works. So the up can come because something that you did before, you did say a good word to somebody, so you were ma'oder, his is lasata, and then it comes right back at you. And sometimes it comes automatically to push you, like in Chodesh Elul, there's not what's being done over there. No, I'm not judging, but absolutely not. That's not a Sederis. That is blocking the flow of a Sederis. That is blocking the flow. If you want to see get a taste of what a Sederis of Chodesh Elul is, come to Crown Heights in Chodesh Elul. Just walk on the street. There's a lot of people that do that. They come, they buy the Lulav. Because I only experienced Elul here the first time, many years after being here. And I didn't know, it took me years to get this, but what we see over there is the opposite. It's the stop flow. There's terror. And Eibishter is not in terror. He's not a terrorist. He's full of love. Once you understand that, it's almost like it doesn't make sense. He's misken. That's how beautiful it is. So we're going to get in now to, there's Tanya, Alter Rebbe. Then there's the Mittler Rebbe, which was his son, which I am a grandchild of, happens to be.
You have Yipson in the Mittler Rebbe?
To the Alter Rebbe, yes, in the Blavisk Baditche.
So where they get
We'll get into that later, I'm just letting you know who I am. I have
Where did he go?
I
I
didn't
know I was sitting next to him.
So
I knew he was, whatever, but I didn't.
So
Some higher thing.
So that's that. So then we have the Mittler Rebbe, and then we have the Tzemach Tzedek. Tzemach Tzedek was, every one of them had different styles, and as you go through their different shnit, you also realize that Alter Rebbe was Chachma, was very expanded.
Alter Rebbe is a Tanya.
Well, a Tanya, yeah. It's expansion, it's very big, it's very broad, but also he had a tremendous, it's called the Alter Rebbe because it's like a Zaydi, anybody can understand this story. It's made for everybody. It's very sweet, it's very simple, and it's oider, it does stuff to you. Then you have the Mittler Rebbe is more like a bina. He can go on one thought for like hundreds of pages, like just to get one point, and he's called bina in his Pashut. Then you have the Tzemach Tzedek was very Talmud moving, so to speak, from the Alter Rebbe, right? And the Kutta Torah and Torah Oyer is something that the Tzemach Tzedek took out of 2,000 Mamarim. He took the best ones and he put it in a Sefer, and it's every Shabbos we learn here Shabbos morning. This is what the Lubavitch Chassidim do. And the Tzemach Tzedek also has something called Derech Mitzvah Sechel, which he took of a whole bunch of mitzvahs, and he explained what it is. Talis, Tefillin, Tzitzis, and it's the most beautiful, once you learn his language. He also did something in the back of his Derech Mitzvah Sechel. He did something called Kitzur Tani. So I didn't want to come in here now because it's a stereotype that every Lubavitch is the Tani. So, and it takes long. Tani is a manual.
I've tried learning it so many times, I never...
Right. So you gotta learn it in the right. That's why I wanted to have it in Crown Heights. Here there is hashpah on that. There's an energy. There's an oil. And once we can plant the seeds, then we can learn it there. We can learn it here. We can learn it by Michal, whatever. But it's important that it starts that we're learning it over here. The next thing, because again, I'm into energy. I'm into this. So
it's almost next to 770, so.
Yes, that's right. That's not why we're here. We just happened to be there. We didn't have another place. But the next thing is like this. So what is Tanya? So Tanya is a manual. It's a manual of the nefesh of the person. We go through life. You can learn the whole Bavli. You can learn the whole Mishnayos, and you have no clue what which is know Eibishter, know your Creator, love Him. How can I love Him if I don't know Him? So the Tanya goes through. It's a whole manual that tells you exactly how the body works. What's happening? What happened that I'm in the middle of Shemoneh Esrei, I had a moment, and all of a sudden I have an akeva in my head, and then I have a cheeseburger in my head, and then what's going on over here? And what about if I fail, if I fall, if I'm going down, and now I'm coming down? The typical thing that we live with is that I am not good. I gesündigt, and now I and I feel like a hypocrite. How can I daven when I just did something against and I feel bad? What's going on over here? So the Alter Rebbe the Tanya goes into detail as to what's going on over here, what's happening, and we're going to start with a kitzur, and then from there we'll see how we respond, and from there we'll go into more heavy mamarim, which is concepts, and from there we can ask questions, and we have something to base it on, right? Not just lifting lofty thoughts, which we're all great at, but these are the Rebbe's, and everything is all das Torah. So
this is from Tzemach Tzedek?
This from Tzemach Tzedek, yeah. It's not many people see this. I was just...
I also...
Right. You saw this? No. Yeah. No,
yeah,
well, this is versteckt in the back. All right. So let's start with Kitzer Tanya. Perig Aleph. Ik zal al brezen שבסוף פרק ג' בנידה, היה בנך כרשע, מסניסן פרק בייס דאבס, ואל תהיה רשע בפני עצמך. In other words, that every person should look at himself as a rasha, right? That's the Alter Rebbe is quoting a shtickle thing about it. But you should not be a rasha. You should look at yourself as a rasha, but don't be a rasha. So he's asking a question. If I am...
Now, besides the question about from the Braisa of the Mishnah, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So he's asking.
He has an additional question.
He's asking the question. He's asking the question, like, what do you mean if I walk around all day thinking that I'm a rasha, how am I supposed to be if there's Hashem b'simcha? And we all know that the first recipe to serving the Eibishter is simcha, because he is simcha. When I'm simcha, I am him. And when I'm not simcha, I'm not in flow. Right? So we're going to start pointing out terms that we use, and you start understanding that when I'm bakakt, I'm stopping my flow. Now, once I experienced a moment of light, of happiness, like I had a moment, I had a good check-in, or whatever, I'm not, after the workshop, I unloaded and I feel free. Once I have that feeling, experience, now I'm walking on the street. Like, for instance, yesterday I had a hard day. I got a hit. I got the job shut down. I got the wall collapsed. Whatever, in Levitic, okay? So it was pressure. And then this morning, last night I processed. And this morning I was just like, it was just like heavy. I'm like, what's going on over there? Where are we going? Like, are we going back to Mitzrayim? Like, so it was a battle. So I had to make a choice. Am I going to get into a atzvus over this? Or am I going to choose simcha? Because I know that my atzvus is not real, and I know that my pressure that I'm going through is here to download a bigger oil. So it's a challenge, but all of a sudden that when you know clearly, like I have a choice, I can feel sorry for myself, and it's going to be good, and it's going to pull me in, and I'm going to come home, I'm going to be sad. Or I can just break through and just snap out of it. So this is the Alter Rebbe is here saying, like, what's going on over there? If I look at myself as a Rusha, and I'm having a day like this, of course I'm having a day like this, because I did kach v'kach, and now it's hitting me in the head. So what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get out of this? Well, this is a kasha. The Parish Mishnah, Braisa, Zu, and Nisbar, Perik of Test, Perik Lamadala, the Shom Basef, and Nisbar, Test, the Kishusay. Fine. Is, Shem Yeh Ba'anav Karosh, Ali Chalav the Shem B'simcha, Yomer, Shekadei, Lohoven Zeh, Yesh Lahagdim, Lohoven, Hei Chalukish, B'gemar, Tzadik, B'chuli Ad Benani. I'll explain this in. Ein Perish Benani Mechte Zakis and Mechte Savanis Vatzadik Ribbe Zakis Shazah
Shazah Einoi.
Shazah what?
Shazah Einoi.
Shazah Einoi, okay. It's like Shazah Zainam, but it didn't come in it. Shazah Einoi Illa in is Scharvo Einish. Aber in der Mitte ist Shem Benani ein Bashim Avere, ich weiß, es bei Perig Beis, boy Perig Beis, boy Vatzadik is by boy Perig. Okay, so the way it works is, it's all ever saying this. A Tzadik is nish, einer was is filled mit mitzvahs, and a Beinen is halb mitzvahs and halb virus. A Tzadik hat nish, kan Shimon a virus nish. I want to see if he's getting into that. Okay. A Tzadik hat nish kan Shimon a Tzadik is einer was is Zan gif, Zan body, is an andere mean body was in Zan. A Tzaddik's body is, in a simple way, it doesn't smell, God forbid. He doesn't have to. His whole makeup is different. He doesn't need to sleep. He doesn't need to eat. This is a tzaddik. It's a different body. They don't have from that clip of Mashul Dechavia, from the Chet of Eitzadas. This is Rebbe Shekoiches, right? We're not measuring Rebbes here, but the Rebbes, they're different. Everybody had his avodah that we didn't understand how it's possible, right? Because it wasn't possible. Because we have our energy output is faklak, because we are from Chet Eitzadas, so we have that klippa, which is that shell on us, so we can't really see Eibishter. So therefore we get tired, we get frustrated, and we're in that because we have this, have that. A Benini, that's a tzaddik. A tzaddik is killer tov, okay? A Benini is not something that has half mitzvahs. A Benini is a middle. It's not half mitzvahs. A Benini is somebody that never did an avera, that never does avera, never thinks of a bad thought. He never says anything bad. Okay? So what's mean a Benini? He's a Beinoni because his body is not the body of a tzaddik. He does have temptation. He walks on the street, he has temptations. He passes by a restaurant, he smells a grilled chicken, he wants that grilled chicken, but he says no. I'm not going to do it. He sees a beautiful thing on the street, he wants it, but he says, I'm not looking, I'm not thinking, and this is what a Beinoni is. And then we have a Rusha. A Rusha is somebody that, like, he's made up of that part, and he just wants to. Doesn't mean that he hates Jews. It's just a Rusha. He will fressen, fluffen, whatever, have a good time. That's it. That's called a Rusha. Okay. The question is, does he go into, there's 5 left, Tzadik v'Ra'alai, Tzadik v'Tevlei. Okay, so there, I'll expand it here. Let's finish this piece. Ibira inru, api mashkosa rechaim v'tal, shechol ish yisrael yesh beis nefashes, nefesh achas mitzad ha-klippes noiga, v'nikr bahamas, nefesh ha-bahamas, in a men midas roz, shemedal yisoidis, v'gam midas teva shebeteva boam memenu. Okay, ki klippes noiga klula metavera, ma shenken nefashes oivet so it's not the Zohar.
What is Klippus Noiga?
Okay, so Klippus Noiga is our whole trouble is from Klippus Noiga. There's Shulish Klippus, the Gimel Klippus Atmeis, which is absolute, which is Gimel Meir is Shvichas Dumim with the Zura, and Gilei Shvichas Dumim and
What is Uri Gilei
Shvichas. This is Gimel Klippus Atmeis. Which means also, jede Zach in Welt, everything in world has to pull from something. We're not forget about separations. It's not I am thinking I want to do an Avera and then I'm doing it and then there is some. When I think of something, I am imagine that there is in the back of your head there is an energy going all the way up, all the way to the beginning of time, to the Creator. But there is a shtalshalos, there's different moves that it made until it came into being to a place that I can see myself as a separate thing, as a separation. Because the minute he reveals himself, it's game over, right? And we turn into, it's called nichlul. We will go back into where we come from, okay? Again. All right? So it's a Zohar. Right now, I feel like I'm a separation. I can touch him, he's separate, this is separate, you're separate, and from this place of separation, I'm like, what do you mean? You talk, what do you mean you're talking to me? He insulted me, he embarrassed me, what do you mean you're talking to me like this? From that place, it's like, I need a nice watch, I want a nice car, and I'm hungry, and I'm cold now.
Why does I want a nice watch separation? Because the watch is not here.
Because, no, I'm not saying that, because the minute, because only, why do you want a nice watch?
I feel I would be more happy with the nice watch.
Who will be more happy?
Me.
Okay.
Let's say.
Good. Why are you going to be more happy?
Because I like being nice.
Correct. You like being nice, why? If you were stuck in a desert right now for 10 years, would you want a nice watch?
Also. Less than, But
okay, so this is part of where his burniness comes in, and we're going to get there, okay? We're going to get there. His burniness is
makes me feel good, I like myself.
Sure, okay, so this is where his burniness comes in, where we're going to take a subject, a topic, and you're going to drive it back, and you're going to realize that you really don't want to watch. The reason you want to watch is, a nice watch is because this is the makeup over here, that I need a nice watch because this is what when I feel like a mensch. So what is that thing that feels like a mensch? Because I need to feel like somebody, I need to fit in, I need to feel like it's called a yesh, I need to feel like when I'm machir. So if I'm an machir, I'm already a separation. Because when I realize that I am just a little thing, I'm nothing, I'm just a little compared to what's going on, I don't need a watch. I'm grateful to be alive.
And the oil itself is also bigger than the watch. No?
Sure, so you don't need it. So I'm saying is like the only reason we want things is because I feel like I'm something. I'm experiencing myself as something. I feel that I am, what do you mean you spoke to me like this? if I talk to, if I stand in front of somebody that I really respect, I wouldn't act the way I act when I'm over there. I'll just be quiet, and if he sees me, I'll be grateful that it's so great that the person is seeing me, and I'm in awe, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Imagine when you stand in front of a tzaddik, right? I don't know if you ever experienced standing in front of a tzaddik.
I did.
Who?
I'm sure.
Okay, so that's when you stand in front of a tzaddik. I don't know what your experience was, but it's a different experience, right? You stand there and you're, people.
Like his battles.
It says batless. It's not only his batless. It's
an awe, as you said.
It's an awe, and it's also you have no problems. Mm-hmm. You can come with all your problems, and you have nothing to say. It doesn't exist because there's so much light that there's no problems, right? When you did the breath work and journey to home, there was no problems because there was so much oil. Like, what problems? There is no problems. So now. So we have the Shurish Klip, the Gimel Klip is Atmais. Then we have this Noiga. Their Noiga, he's a troublemaker. This is where the problem starts. Their Noiga he's confusion. This is where all our trouble comes from.
I lost track on the three main klippas.
There's Gimel Klip is Atmais,
Okay.
which is Golera Shvichas Duma, which is also a Nishkusher Essen. It's something that's from Gimel Kusher Echais, from Gimel Klip is Atmais, which the Alter Rebbe is going to go into that. I'm thinking once we do the Kitzur, we may do a couple program because I see here that it's, there's I wanted him to talk out the five, the Tzadik Verad, Tzadik B'Toivlo, and all that stuff. We're going to get into it. So no worries. As the questions are going to be pushed into to whatever we need to go with this. So there is the Gimel Klipis Atmayas is that when I'm doing that, when I eat something non-kosher, there is no tikkun for that. I can't elevate that. I can't bring it up. In other words, like this, if I eat right now a sandwich and I learn, so I elevate that back to, I did an elevation. I took something that was in here and I elevated it up there, which is besides that point. I'm just going to throw stuff and then we're going to wrap it up, but you have to break ground. There is Doimim Tzemaya Chaim Adavar, right? The Doimim, Tzemeach, the plant, Chai, which is Achaya, and Medaber, which is us. In Zemar Medaber, it's Kamereden. We are the most sophisticated thing. But Doimim, Tzemeach, come from a higher place than us. Okay? It comes from, that's how it works. The higher it comes, you flip it. Alright? It goes like that. So just so you understand. Now, there's the Noiga. Noiga is something that is good and bad. It's Toivera. Okay, this is where everything starts. Toivera is that's where I can make a mistake, because before with the Mishnah, I guess from the Eitz Adas, it was clear there was Toiv and there was Ra, and it had nothing to do with Ra, because it was clear to him that it was almost Tim and the Menivul. Get away from it. Like it wasn't even Shaykh. But once he ate from it, he went into like a trickery mode. Like I can look at something and I'm like, yeah. Sometimes we're so far that we don't even see it's wrong. Sometimes it's so far that I know it's wrong, but I can't resist and I don't think about it. I'm doing it anyways. So this is the Noiga. And then there's Toiv also, because the Akusher Essen gibt auch et von Noiga, but it can be elevated. So now I can take something, I can see a person, and I can say, this guy's an idiot, or I can say, guy, he's just an amazing guy. I have a choice. So this is Noiga, this is where it comes from. Then Noiga, this is what we're working with. And this is what we're giving a bidder, and when Mashiach is going to come, which is, we're in the process right now, it's starting where Choshech is starting to burn out. Alright? It's called the Ebola Mavis L'Netzach. Choshech is going to disappear forever. Okay? Which means that, as we see right now, we're living in a time where once you accomplish something, it's very... Okay, let's go back. Before we went through this craziness that's happening now, even if you worked and you had a breakthrough, tomorrow you're back to where you started. It was there because we were in the Zahama, we were in the thing. Now that we're starting the process of cleansing the Choshech, why, when, where, we all have some sort, we covered that a little bit, or a lot. Once you have a breakthrough, it's very hard to go back to the way it was. It's there to stay because we're starting already the process of Choshech is burning out. Why? Because there's more oir. Why is there more oir? Because there's more cheshach, right? So, but at the same time, we're starting to gain momentum. So we can really, you do it and you can start walking forward. It's happening already. Like we see, the whole clip is breaking. The whole temptation and our value system is not the same. It's changing. We don't know what it is. It's still we're not sure. So therefore, all these you can look at from a place of it's coincidence. It's going to pass. Okay, so Shingishayan. In 1918 there was a similar thing, and then we passed it. We went through it. Okay, that's his choice. He can stay there, or you can. Once you learn Hasidus and you start connecting, you're like, wait a second. The Blazer and Como are not shutting down the city because he can't. And you have to be a fool to think that a person like the Blazer that has an IQ of an absolute behemoth has the power to destroy a city. So if you think you're like everything happens, this will do our gut. Like no longer do we look at Eibishter, Torah, business, and current events as four separate things. It's all one thing. Right? It's all everything is together. Chassidus takes away the plastic, and you're able to see it. Like, okay, Como de Blasio, what's happening over here? He said that Williamsburg and Barbara is a red zone, right? I can look at it like, oh my gosh, we're going back to the Nazis, or it can be like it's a red zone that we're hot. It's happening. Like we're the targets. Like they want us to wake up, right? They're calling us. He is calling us. Like, Father, let's go, wake up. It's not about your parnas. It's not like there's bigger fish to fry. There's stuff. So this is what's called Bola Mavis L'Netzach, that we're starting to wake up, we're starting to open up, and the fact that we're sitting here learning Chassidus is part of that, right? Because that didn't happen 6 months ago. So everything you have to look at is not just a coincidence, it's all connected. There had to be a tremendous amount of oil for people to come together Wednesday night to sit and learn a Kitzur and Tanya, right? This is not something that we do. So stop looking at things like, okay, it was hard for me. I didn't want to say no. When you came on, I figured it was going to be interesting. No, the fact that you came, there was an Esirasa La'elam, there was an awakening from up above that told you, and even a check-in or anything that you're coming to is pshat is that there is an awakening from within that I want more oil. I want more light. I don't want that pleasure. So start seeing that, and just by seeing that, because Choshech, remember, he's a master at trickery. All he has to do is convince you that I'm just doing it. You can still do it, but I'm just doing it because it's part of the flow, and I feel good. It makes me, But once you realize, you're like, whoa, hold on a second. What's happening over here? I have a desire. I'm not just doing it. Okay, I'm not just doing it. I'm having a desire. What's that desire? It's not just a desire. It's a desire of oil. It's a desire of light. Something light that wants me to, I want to start breathing. I want to start seeing better. So that is oil. And that is the pshat is that Choshech is starting to pull away, and it's going to get more and more clear until we're going to be there, right? But we're definitely in process. Any questions?
Few, but I don't remember them.
Okay, so we're going to get better at this. We're going to you can write down as I talk and then bring out the questions, but go ahead.
I just had a question. Seriously, what did you say last thing, that we're in the process of oil? Yeah, my question was just for the avoid it. What do I do when I know the days when I see and I feel that I have a desire, and it's a desire of oil, even when the desire is kind of hiding, I don't see it and it's not that clear, but I know I can but in the days when the only thing that I know is that yesterday I knew that I have a desire. Now I'm just, what am I doing? How do I stick to?
Okay, so first of all, the rule number one is
just Mercedes Nefesh, maybe?
No, we're going to make this question a little better because I'm not quite getting it. But in other words, you're saying that I had a desire yesterday, and then today I don't have that desire. You're saying I just know that I had it yesterday.
I don't realize that the desire that I have or had is oil.
You start questioning your yesterday's desire. Yeah?
Is it that wholly pure desire, or is it just something?
So that is a part.
Of course, when I have it, when I am connected, I know all this. Yeah.
So
yeah, when I do the check-in, it feels good, and the next day as well. But 2 days later, I'm just
what he said, anchor it.
So this is what it is. This is what it is. So this question covers multiple things. First of all, this is Noiga. This is Noiga is making that trouble. This clip is Noiga. He's confusing, right? So I can have an oyer, and Noiga is also there. He's like, it's not an oyer, it's a desire. What the desire? I say, well, I have a taiva. I had a taiva now. Big deal. And tomorrow he comes, if you come sophisticated, he gets more sophisticated, right? He also gets sophisticated. So it's a real thing. We are that energy. We are that oyer. It's not two separate things. My desires and my confusion are not two separate beings. It's all part of my makeup. I have a desire, and then I have something that's making me see my desire like this, and then one day it's like that, and then one day I can see clear for a second, then it's back like this, right? So I have a desire, but now my desire is like, oh, it's an orange. Like, I'm not sure. That's number one. Number two is, which is the Alter Rebbe's, this is the only found in Tanya, I think. Anyway, he was the leader. I think the Alter Rebbe is the first person that brought it down. There's two. I'm surprised that it's not. Maybe it is there. There's two nefesh. There's two people within us, right? There's two people within us. Oh, it is there.
He's based in Fosh.
Oh, yes, based in the Fosh. Okay, nefesh achmat tzaddik b'snoigim v'nefesh b'ayim. Okay, but it doesn't say nefesh kiss the way we're used to.
Because this is not the whole purpose.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. I think we will go into the real time. Now. There is two nefashas. There's called a nefesh Bahamas and nefesh Elokis. Okay? You get up in the morning, you have a nefesh Elokis that feels he wants to go do Avodas Hashem. I want to do good, I want to do good. Then you have a nefesh Bahamas that said, I want to sleep. I want to eat. I don't want to die. Okay? I refuse to. So these two are fighting constantly. I can be in the middle of Shemana Esrei, and I'm in the middle of davening, and I have the right kavanah, I'm perfectly there, and all of a sudden, boom, something comes into my head and distracts me. Says the Alter Rebbe, until now, the Mr. Sefer tells you, Bista Shvans, Bista Gunish, don't even bother davening. And you didn't know how to get out of it. What do I do with it? Because at the end of the day, I'm about daven, and I do want to daven, so where am I? And not only that, the famous line is that if you say a Nivul Peh for 40 days, all the tefillas that you daven goes to the Sefer Achra. So you tell this to an innocent kid, right? I'm sure you all had this. So you tell this to an innocent kid, you don't know, you're trapped. You're like, I'm afraid, I can't daven, and then
I'm not davening.
You have such innocence, and you imagine you going ask your father or the Rebbe, and he's like hitting you, and like he can't. They're not even approachable like that because it's not. You can't approach them like that. So you're trapped, and the kids will grow up with that type of trauma. And this is Golos. Says the Alter Rebbe Dargish. There's a nefesh Bahamas and there's a nefesh Elokis. You're in the middle of davening, you're doing it. You're having that thought, has nothing to do with this. Your nefesh Elokis is still good. This behemoth wants to kick, eventually we're going to deal with him. But he also has a voice, and he tells you even more so. When you having a machshava zara in the middle of davening, know that you're in the right place. Because you know that you're here with him. Like you're having a thought and he's right here bombing you, nuking you, right? Laser beaming you like this. So you're in the right track.
When you're really getting somewhere, so the forces come and say,
right? Cool down. As you get there, it's like it comes in and then you start questioning your whole, like, what am I doing here? That's it, I'm done. But once you realize that there's two people there, there's a good guy and there's not a good guy.
Are we talking about davening, hoidim, the whole davening Baruch Shoma?
Yeah, or...
Why not?
Yeah, I'm talking about that. And he goes in throughout the day, eventually. You're saying, like, and not what?
And not throughout the day. No.
Yeah, and throughout the day too. He goes in very strongly.
Always.
Like all this.
It's always happening all the time.
Yeah, with Chabad and Breslov, it's like, listen, you're doing it there. It's why you think you're not allowed to think about it, because there is. Think about it this way: when somebody had a trauma as a kid, something was done to him. Let's say molestation, all that. What happened was it took a minute. It happened. It's the trauma afterwards that I keep cycling, that pulls me down.
My fault.
Exactly. Whatever it is,
shame.
right? The shame.
Thinking about
it. So the same thing is azovi schar mitzvah is avad, schar avad is avad. Schar mitzvah is like, eventually, once you learn to see this, it's like a mitzvah is not doing something that I'm waiting to get schar back. I recognize that the minute I do something, I'm feeling good about it. That's my schar.
Are you connected?
So I'm starting to thread oir. The same thing on Avera. Once I do an Avera, the Avera itself is like me thinking about it. Now I'm feeling bad, and because of that, I don't want to daven, and I'm pulling myself down. Chassidus says, like, cut him off. Don't think about it. As the Gittin, okay. Now continue. You go, when you say Kriya Shema Shalomita, you take 5 minutes and you get to cry over it, and that's it, right? And it's clear that, the Alter Rebbe says clear, that when you say Slach lo nevini chiltuni, it's a fact. Because why? It brings you proof. Because the Chacham wouldn't have you make a bracha l'vatal. So if I say Slach lo nevini it's Buddha committed that you're forgiven. It's over, done. And then there are certain affairs that only Yom Kippur is mechaper. Fine, okay, so once a year we're clean slate. But keep in mind that who are we? We are not Satmar, we are not Lubavitch, we are not Gevirim. We are light vessels. We are light generators. And in my light generator, sometimes they put in bad oil in me, and I have to process that too. But it's not me. What's my issue with the issue? Right? It's not me. I'm here. I'm a salesman, and I'm selling whatever they give me. Today they gave me a lot that was bakak, and I have to deal with it. Okay, so this is what it is. You're taking yourself out of the picture because my nefesh l'kis is still pure.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to apply it to sales or whatever. I'm doing an installation or whatever, installing a kitchen, and stuff goes wrong. Measurements were wrong. Like wie dort do the Tinkelkeit and the Lechtigkeit, it's wie the Chassid is dort. Since everything is connected. Since in his business, Torah and Davana.
So the simple, very complicated answer is that there's a level of bittul. Bittul pshat is that who are you that so you made a mistake. So you messed up the measurement. What's the problem?
I didn't deliver the job.
I didn't deliver the job.
I
didn't deliver the job. Now I'm giving a very extreme. We can break it down, but I'm giving a very extreme answer because I deal with this too. I'm a contractor. I know what it is to be in a job 4 years and they go right. But to me, it's different. It's pachim kitanim, never. They're trapped, right? So, but at the end of the day, they want a product. So who am I? So you do your best. I got up in the morning, I took my measurements, I did my best, I'm there, I messed up.
Or the shop or whatever,
whatever it was, messed up, and now if I take myself out of the equation, I'm just here to do a job. And it was messed up, so now I got to deal with it. There was a mistake. There's that, whatever the case is, but first of all, it's not, who am I that I can't make a mistake? Who am I? Like Moshe Weisz doesn't make mistakes. He's
not defining you.
It's not who we are. So first of all, you're taking yourself out of that. Now, if you want to go deeper in it, you understand that there's Eibishter in everything. And in this Golos that we are right now, it's such pachim ktanim, it's such small nitzotzes that it's in a kitchen, it's in a wall, I'm putting up a wall, and what is that? Because there are trapped nitzes in the metal, in everything there is Eibishter. You're putting up a house. And then a person lives there, he has nachas, he learns, he does tzedakah, you give him rechavas adas, which mitamol, a person that is in the house, he has menicha, he's sleeping at night. So he's a vessel for Shechina, he's a vessel for Eibishter, he raises children, there's vessels for Eibishter. He built it for a goy, whatever his avodah is, right? The goy is here to serve us, right? So we're building him a house so he can sleep at night to serve us, right? So the point is that you can find in a kitchen, you can look at it in the kitchen, and then you can look at it within yourself. What is it here to teach me? Where do I need to better myself? Next time I got to be on top of my game. I messed up on the measurements. There's a level of unclarity. There's a level of noiga. There was a noiga in my conscience that I messed up on the measurements. I wasn't present because of the so I need a bitter of that. So now I'm like, next time be on top of your game, which means that I have to go to sleep earlier, and I have to be happier, and I have to be more focused, right? That's one. And then comes the other side. There's the bittul program. At the end of the day, after I eat myself up, okay, listen, when the goy unloads the trailer and he flips over a pallet and $10,000 worth of merchandise just get destroyed, what does the boss do to the employee that he pays $650 a week? What does he do? He looks at him, or he's going to be like, okay, it's okay. Or it'll be like, that the next time be more careful. But that's it. And the guy feels bad about it, or whoever the worker feels bad, but this is it. Why are we different? Because I can't make mistakes. because I can't make mistakes, because I am so perfect that I can't make mistakes. No, you're not so perfect. You still need, and there is a bitter in that too. Because if you look at it, look how many mistakes a person makes, and the mistake that you made 6 months ago, you don't think about it right now, it passed, it's gone. Next. He forgot, you forgot, everybody moves on. The guy that's so upset about his kitchen that's off by an inch, he also needs to learn that, okay, get over it. So go to Geshem, you're also not so perfect. You're far from it. How do I know? Because if you're still bothered by a kitchen that's off by half an inch, then there's obviously something wrong with you. So there's lessons across the board. It's not my job to give that guy the lesson. I mean, I do, because I'm a facilitator. Right? So I at some point I need to facilitate the idiot. But for the most part, there's lessons everywhere. People build $4 or $5 million homes and they finish and they're depressed. Why do you think they're depressed for? Because whatever you do by a workshop, he didn't go and he has to do it. He has to get his fix by doing a $4 million house for.
But he's not getting it fixed.
He get by the time he's done.
He thinks he's getting.
He realizes that this is not doing anything for me. Nothing, because everything I thought of and this that. My kid comes and runs with a skateboard right through on the brand new floor and I'm bothered. And then I'm like, I don't even care. Like it doesn't mean anything to me because I have so many other issues that I need to deal with right now. So it's an awakening, and everybody wakes up differently. Everybody wakes up. Everybody has an evolution, but it's not about the house. It's not about the car. It's not about my physical. It's about there's a message. There's a lukus in everything. And once again, when you learn Hasidus, these diamonds, these rocks, these avonim become alive. Before, if I don't have this knowledge, there's my gut. Then this is my house, and I have to. But once everything opens up, my whole day becomes alive. Like, why did the inspector come? Why was I shut down? Maybe I need to be more present. I wasn't present enough. I didn't pay attention. Okay, one. Number two, at the end of the day, there is berunim. There is choshev in that. At the end of the day, there is choshev, and we need to deal with it. And it's going to pass. Shabbos is going to come. We're going to say l'chaim, and next week it's going to be good. Then okay, bitter. Next, we brought light into this, and now I'm happy about it. So I get I put my work in. Sheishes Yom Tavik. There's a real thing, right? What happened to Shabbos? You come in Shabbos. You can't make this stuff up. You can go on the most expensive vacation, and Tuesday, Wednesday, you're not going to relax. You're not at peace. There's still. I'm missing out, and then it takes 3 days to relax, and then finally you relax. The 4 days time to go home, and then finally my friend is making a deal, so now I can't have minicha. Maybe I'm missing out. So comes Shabbos mit the move. There's just minicha. No phones, because it's real time, it's real oil, it's real energy, it's real oil. That Shabbos is the machines are shut down. We get elevated, and we're going to a different consciousness. We're going to a different reality, and a reality that that I don't need to work, should do manicha. And the more you purify yourself, you open up your eyes, you get more in touch with that. And this is real chiyas that you get from Shabbos. You can pull it till Tuesday, and then Wednesday starts, the new Shabbos comes in. And these are real things that, this is what our Schurim are telling us. And either you believe that what they're saying is real, or if you think they were just saying stuff because it was a nice story, then take off the yarmulke, take off this, and don't fool yourself. Right? It's all emunah. It's all level of emunah. How does the tzaddik manifest Muslim? Because he believes he's duvik and ebishtin, and he's one with him. So when he says this, it cracks through your oil, your block, your noiga. Your noiga says that boom, yeah. So somebody gets cracked by he has a miracle. He has kinder, and he has kids, and he's like, oh, it's a big cake. Doctor gesucht nein, der tzaddik gesucht ja, and so some people have to go through it with health. The Hasidus talks about everything. Why like this? What happens What happens with that? Everything has its reasons and what it's triggering. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Okay, a few more. We'll do one more piece. Okay, so this was Perek Aleph. Yeah. So we know now that there is a nefesh of Bahamas.
Can I clear something?
Sure.
You said before that the watch isn't me. I really don't want the watch, and when I'm gonna realize that who am I, then I won't need the watch. I just want to make clear. I know that we're not bin, right?
That
we're
what?
not that madreg. Not at all, I think.
So the word is on the contrary. Chassidus, one of the main things that Chassidus teaches us is Lamata Masarat Chacham. This is a line that the Rebbe used every Februarian, and the whole Chassidus is built on Lamata Masarat Chacham. We are not people that are separate from the world. This is not what we do here. Chassidus trains us to see Eibishter in everything. So when I wear my watch, okay, which happens to be a watch, is a very interesting piece of equipment that a man should have. It's called a timepiece. And if you know about watches, I just happen to know because one of my chavrusa sells watches, so he's very into it. A watch is the only thing that time and space come together. The physical and the non-physical, the ruchnis and the gashmis come together because time is not a real thing. Time is, what's time? It's cancer stopping. And then yet, you have a watch that tells you the time. So it brings you into the physical. It's the same as Revach Abuzir and Mafli Las, it's a payload. We'll get into that. There's Soviv Kalaman and Mamala Kalaman. There's the world that's Makiv, that we can't see, that our thoughts are from, the Shemayim. And then there's the Urz, the stuff that I'm plugged into. So a watch is that. We're using these as terms, but there's a way to wear the watch. There's a guy that wears a watch, and then there's a guy that wears a watch. Right?
I want to wear a watch.
Good. So explore with that.
Yeah, I need to ask, why should I run away from my, let's call it childish desire?
Sure.
I like the watch. I won't be wrong. I like the watch.
Okay.
It's nice, and I like myself, and I love myself.
Sure. So the word is as follows. First of all,
I think even that the Hasidus will work better that way.
Okay, correct. Because first of all, in Hasidus, the one thing about Hasidus is you have to be real with yourself. You have to be real. You can follow your masses. If you like ice cream, eat an ice cream. Don't do the It's not, okay? This is number one. Number two, in order for you to get to know, to wear a watch the real way, you have to wear it first the way you want to wear it. If you start to I mean, it's falsch. So if you're falsch, you can never get to the truth. But if you wear the watch, if you're really authentic with what I am, and now I'm feeling it once, twice, 3 times, right? And after doing that for a year, 2 or 3, I'm like, nobody cares because I really don't care the watch he wears. You start shopping, once you open up your eyes, that nobody cares. It's all in my head. If nobody cares, I only care because I think he cares. If now that I know that if I don't care, so why do I really need a watch? Okay, I need a watch because it makes me feel good. Okay, now we're already going into something real. You need it, and it's helping me. It's not for him. No, the guy indulge. Okay? There is a word in Chassidus that's called Kadosh Atzmacha B'Mitterloch. Right? We all know that. It's meant Afilu de Zachen was his Mitte. Afilu de Zachen was his Mitte, that's the Ognestein, right? You all know that.
But that's old school.
Is it the right touch of Kadosh Atzmacha B'Mitterloch? I think
that's how everybody touches it.
Oh, that's not true.
Well, not until the Voucher Rebbe comes along.
Did I hear it from the Voucher Rebbe?
Maybe. Not until the Voucher Rebbe comes along. In one of his early years, I don't know if you saw it, but my mind was blown away when I saw it, how wild it is. Kadosh Atzmacha B'Mitterloch is on the contrary. Kadosh Atzmacha B'Mitterloch. Like what you're doing, be real with it. I want to eat, now I'm eating a piece of meat. I'm eating a piece of meat. Not even, because I want it to be real. You give it to your aunt. Remember something. When Mashiach comes, we're going to be in this body. It's all about, if not for this body, then we didn't need to come into this world. And if we're not going to experience Eibishter in physical body, then how is it fair that when I suffer, I have to suffer in my physical body? Oh, so take me out of my physical body, so I don't have to feel the pain, God forbid, of children and all that. And then fair again. But we were physical. We're in physical bodies. So we're going to, Malachim, dress up. This is what we do. We're B'nai Malachim. So wear the watch with dignity. This is what I want, and this is what I want to eat. But be real with yourself. This is what Chassidus asks you to be real. Wie hältst du? Verdranish the cup, right? The chassid walks out. There's 2 people walk out. They have one guy walks out in the airport and it smells from the hot dog, right? He just came off a flight and it's his raz by the news, and he's like, no, foy. Okay. Zet Hashanah zag, foy, ekeldik. Really, ekeldik? If you're a chassid, it's like, it smells good, I want the hot dog, and how a well done hot dog, it's this, but it's treif, and I'm not allowed to. And if I do it, I'm gonna get into choshev. Or if I do that, that my oil, my flow tells me that this is gonna block me if I go there, because he set up a system. So this is how you become real with yourself. I have real No. I have a real tithe, and I'm messed up. I have a tithe, and some people are mamish messed up that they have sick tithes. And if they're not real with themselves, they just do crazy things. They become devious, and it becomes. This is how choshech gets you, right? It's a falschkeit. Like I'm lying to myself. But if you're true with yourself, you're holding yourself accountable. Yes, I sin. Okay, dort naltech. I'm sorry. Chatusi. Next, moving on. Let's go. Let's try this again. Right. So this is the whole thing with Chassidus, is to be real with yourself and recognize that this is my behema and this is my nefesh halikis. And it's not a contradiction. It's not a contradiction.
What is the logic when I eat the hot dog, it stops the flow? What happens?
Sure. It shows gimel
That's how you're eating it.
It's gimel klippus amayas. It's where it's coming from.
Because you mean the tray?
Yeah, because this is a real oil. It's a real energy. Okay? And if I turn on and I watch stuff that's not clean, I'm pulling energy from a not clean place. And now I'm eating this energy, and now...
This is also energy.
What? Everything is energy. Everything is
energy from the non-clean place.
Of course. So when I eat something, now there's levels of non-pure energy. There's something that's noige. If I eat something, if I eat a kosher meal, kosher steak, is a loy l'shem shemaim, I gewalt fressen. Okay? But after I'm done, I can go in an hour from now, I can say, okay, you know what, let me say kapitel telling. Let me say a good word. Now you elevated that steak. Okay? But if I eat a steak that's treif, I can't elevate it because it's dead. It's dead weight.
Like processed food.
Like processed food, exactly.
But is it energy?
What?
It's energy.
It's energy, but it's a dense energy. And if you're a yid, but you're a different program, your program is yid kavuvka, and you're eating something that's drek, it messes up your flow and it stays there. But when you do tshuva, it goes away, and there's levels of tshuva, which Tani gets into. There's tshuva that I just do tshuva, and then there's such a level of tshuva which we need by from tray food, that is doinis nasalik zuchrius, which is like that my sin becomes. What's that level? that I start drawing energy. I start drawing power from my past. I start drawing power from my shortcomings. Yeah.
Okay, so just so
that's not for all. That's you know.
So when the
tzaddikim.
When
I think the Matana says that. What?
So isn't that Chiv Ma'arava? So sorry.
There's Chivi Mahava, yeah, sure. There's Chivi Mahava, but also if you go to a tzaddik, they clean you. That's the ofti of the Baal Shem Tov. When you go to the Baal Shem Tov had this, like he created such a thing that there was a chavraya. Like if you were a chassid, he took you under his wing. He's like, okay, there's Shemana Chasidim, he took care of your problems. Chabad made you work for it, right? There was no free fall. When came out in Chagas, which is Chesed Gevir Teferes, which is the Midas. We'll get familiar with these terms. The Rebbe get in alles verder. Goed, the Zerayin came and look at Kvittel, and the Rebbe is like, sei gesund, so kiss the hand, and you're good. I got you. In Chabad is gegangen also. Chabad ik met afhouden. But the Rebbe gave you a map, and he's like, I'll see you come back to me when you're done. And he came back, and he was okay. Good. Now, you want me to tell you it's good? Good boy? No. And I want you to, why aren't you learning Gemara? I want to block Gemara of Unkachachmas. Right? There was heavy demands. Right? This is what Chabad is moichen. There's no free games. Now, you asked a question before, which is important, about your desire that you said that I feel yesterday, I felt, I didn't feel. Now, part of Noige, one of the main focuses of Noige is, and we covered this many times, that he pulls you into the past and the future. Okay? Our whole struggle that we're having, the reason that we're coming and we can't have minich is because my past, yesterday this guy hurt me. Last year I lost my job. And my future is that I'm going to be a schnutter when 20 years from now in my retirement I'm not going to be able to make the wedding that I want to make for my kids, right? So I'm worried about my past and future. Both of these things are not real. They're both klipping. Because if I have a minute and my master is my connection to God, to Eibishter, why are you worried about yesterday? Because once it happened, he wanted that to happen. It's a part of creation. Leave it at that. And going forward, what do you mean you're worried about forward? What are you pulling? It's coming. You got to get into free flow. When I worry about yesterday and tomorrow, I'm not in free flow. And what's our natural state of being? Free flow. Ava, love. That's our natural state of being, is love. Right? So once you're going to past and future, and this is what happened on Ulamishn 8 from the 8 Sadas. The minute the 8 from it, we went into past and future. Right? So I'm worried, and then it spins so far out of control that we found ourselves here. But what's Mashiach consciousness? Hoive. So there's Hoye, Hoive, V'yeh. But when Mashiach comes, we're going to go into the Hoive, which is, that's why we're going to live forever. Because the only reason we die is because we expire. Because it's something from the snake, from the Nochash. And that snake is like because I'm here and there, I'm not connected to my source, I burn out. Right? But once I'm connected to source, all I need 1 second of realization. I need 1 second of nitzchis. And nitzchis is something that lives forever. I need to be touched by the tzaddik 1 time. I need to see it 1 time and it stays forever. Why? Why if I'm healed 1 time in a Mashiach consciousness is there forever? Because I'm living in the now. I'm not moving. I am here and it's not moving. I am here. So if I'm healthy now, I don't need to be healthy tomorrow, and I'm not worried I'm going to get sick like yesterday, because I'm living in the moment, and the moment never ends. Right? I'm living in the now. So all I need is 1 second of Mashiach, and it's forever. Now it's levels of that we're waking up to, more surrender, more, until we're going to be there, right? But the beginning is happening now. So this is part of. We never worry about yesterday, and we don't worry. We're not concerned about tomorrow. It's arbet, it's work, it's avodah, because it's really challenging. The vibe says money, parnasa, rent, but now the bank tells you don't pay me the mortgage. The credit cards, you say you don't have to pay. You can take a deferral, right? Everything is on hold, so we can actually get a taste of what it means to live in the now. What it means that all I need is an apple. And you start realizing that this whole spiel that I have to, is part of the clip. It's part of Chesed. It's part of the snake. That he convinced me that I need kach v'kach, so I'm enslaved. It's paroi. This is Mitzrayim. He convinced me that I need Pisam Ramses. When really this Pisam Ramses is destroying me. Because I live in yesterday and I live in tomorrow and I don't have a breath of fresh air now. Because how can I be now when I'm petrified that what happened to me last year is going to happen to me again, and I'm so concerned, I'm depressed because my friend already has 10 million in the bank and I'm still a cocker and I'm not going to be able to do anything. What am I going to do? I have a full fridge of food, so now we have 1 fridge and 1 full freezer. So now and then I have a backup freezer in the basement, right? And then I have and there's never enough because I'm not living in the now. So I'm burning out, and I'm burning my resources. Because the more I have, the more my mates are. Para is the oirif, it's in the neck. So the para, he starts squeezing your neck until you suffocate. You can't breathe. But if I live in the now, all of a sudden, what do I need right now? This minute, all I need is a cold glass of water. It's available. What do I need? I need an apple. What do I really need? I need a piece of chicken. I'm not talking about here big madregas. I'm talking about the fact. This is what's happening, right? We don't need. So this is once you step into the now, once you step into the Mashiach consciousness, you step into the living in the moment. I don't need anything. And yet, the parichat makas, the erste makat sich umgefangen. So we can say like it's COVID, it can just pass. You can live in that, or you can realize that the Torah has trained us for what's happening right now. The erste makat has arrived. Right? You paid your mortgage this month?
She's paying it.
She's paying it. Okay.
But I come to something after all this.
I think we're gonna. Sure, yeah.
Whatever, I'm gonna get there. Thanks, Shamish.
So living in the now, it's
yeah. Watch it.
I think it's also a part. There is a concept that basic concept that everything is alikus and everything is holy.
No.
Yeah, just at the table. So the doubt is also a certain.
Klipa.
No, maybe it's
You
also.
said- you said
holy.
doubt. You said doubt.
Can we connect with the purity of the doubt, so to speak?
So, okay.
That there is some life in the choshech, right?
Well, let's not go there yet, because if we're gonna go there now, it's gonna get confusing, because he's not in the choshech. Eibishter is not in an aveda.
It's the abstraction.
Exactly. It's
Absence of or
we're gonna get into that. But there is such a thing. There is such a thing as not doubt but shikha, right? Shikha is this is actually one of my own Torahs that was approved. But shikha is when one of the mitzvahs. There's a mitzvah in shikha, right? Lekit shikha and paya, right? So when shikha is something that when I'm cutting in my field and I left it there, I have to leave it there. Don't, right? Shikha is the only mitzvah in the Torah that you can't plan for. It has to happen. It's a shame.
No preparation.
Oh, nothing. I just forgot. That's the moment. Okay. So, Zman Abayis, there was such a thing as shikha. Now, there's no more shikha. Not only isn't there shikha, but shikha is the biggest gulas, the biggest choshech. When, what did I want to say? I can't believe I forgot. I forgot what I wanted to say. Right? It's a very painful thing. But that's also part of the gulas, part of choshech that's telling you. However, once you get into Mashiach consciousness and you know that Eibishter is in everything, he's also in shikha. So when you get into a moment of shikha,
You appreciate it?
I'm in shikha. It's a get l'chazach, but God is there also, and now I'm with Him over there.
Shikha is an important thing.
yeah, this is.
It's important to forget.
Yes.
Look at.
Yeah.
Just for example, my wife, she doesn't forget.
But
We're talking about shikha now. Like you wanted to say something.
Yeah.
So what happens is that once you go into shikha and you're like, okay, this has been a kind of moment of shikha, and then it comes back to you. If you don't fight it, because it's like a boat, it's like a slippery soap that you're trying to grab it. But if you just go into shikha and you meet yourself in there, then you appreciate it.
So again, Bizman Abayis, there was shikha. There was the mitzvah shikha. And now...
No, there is no shikha, but how will we makan shikha?
There's something
Okay.
strange about the Hanukkah
Sorry about
tradition.
that.
We light the menorah every night to
I didn't turn this
commemorate
thing off.
the kindling of the menorah.
Sorry.
How do we do shikha? When you forget something and you just celebrate the shikha. All right. So again, so which means again, in everything you find the peace of mind. Now, living in the now. You asked the question before. Living in the now. Pshat is that if you try, one of the easiest things to do, one of the easiest ways to get there is if you live in the now, you have no problems. If you walk out of here and you're like, my wife, my kids, tomorrow, my work, what I have in my schedule, nothing has to do with the now. And nothing's going to happen now. It's all just, there is a master that's called a snake, that is choshech, and he lives, it's a living organism, and he lives in your pain. That's where he gets chiyas. That's what it means that the Yinikas HaChatzanim. Okay? Yinikas HaChatzanim is that I just finished the shir, and I have good oil, and now I'm walking out, I'm starting to stress about my day tomorrow, and about my wife, and all that stuff. That is Yinikas HaChatzanim. But if I live in the moment, I just finished, I'm feeling good. Right now I feel good. I'm driving, I'm feeling good. I'm good. Nothing's hurting me. Tomorrow is tomorrow. Leave it tomorrow. What do you mean tomorrow? Again, you're going into tomorrow? There's no flow for tomorrow. You're not flowing tomorrow now. Then you come home in that place. You come home with, right now I'm happy. And all of a sudden, whatever comes at you that's trying to attack you because you already spun the wheel like this for years, like we all... But if I am happy, then everything that comes just starts moving, disintegrating. It starts opening up. They also start seeing the light. And then there is a light, and then more light. And then you start anchoring that light. You become mindful that you are bringing light right now. And in that moment of light, you're like, hi sweetie, I love you, I missed you so much, good night. You look so amazing.
Without any hope for an outcome or...
No outcome.
For a response, no response.
And I'm talking about your kids, forget about the wife. You tell your kid, like because you're starting to land, you're starting to anchor, you're starting to bring it down into a subtle lamata masar tvavim. Right? You
Is
start
this
to make
lahavel? Not chazon to compare. What Eckhart Tolle speaks about, the power of now. If you're familiar.
I started reading that book. I don't know. It's not really.
It's not Hasidus, but
no, a lot of most of the
It's
stuff
very
is
common.
Hasidus.
right.
Yeah, most of the stuff is
Once
Hasidus.
Hasidus is in the world, some other.
That's when they opened up. Yeah, enlightenment.
No.
That's
What
right.
do you mean?
It has to be.
The
Once
maskula.
Hasidus is in the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
it means that others can, if they're hopping some of the emes from it, they can hop some of the emes from it. Just Baruchnish, it's in the world.
Everything is oil. Everything comes down from light first. So as Hasidus was coming down, the age of enlightenment started. Okay,
Maskilim or
But
Yeah.
Goyim starting to understand
Well,
certain
not
things
exactly that.
since Hasidus came to the world.
the age of enlightenment
He
started
mean
from
enlightenment.
Hasidus. Yes.
What?
He meant
The age of enlightenment, like meditation,
Yeah.
is from
knowledge,
Hasidus.
just all kinds of things.
Yes.
Also, like not
Okay.
time, but there was more
100%.
stuff that was not.
Now maybe later.
Good,
no?
maybe that hadn't
Yeah,
been
later,
right?
but that's when it started. Right?
Hawaii,
And also, most of these chevra
like
read.
things opened up.
Yid. A lot of these chevra, Yiddish kep. This is all. It's a fact. I can send you the clip. Actually, this guy sent me.
Yeah, Moshe, there's this amazing story about the Rebbetzin once, that Babish Rebbetzin, so